Good morning. Okay, we're good. Good morning, everybody. 3 viewers. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. All right. Hi. Come onto your mat, please, and step to the back of your mat. All right. If you were in the meditation practice and saw me goofing around on Instagram, um, just remember when you're scrolling and swiping and all that stuff and looking around for the latest thing that you're looking for or that you heard about, uh, stop, drop, and do some yoga, meditate, and recall that pretty much everything you're seeking is inside of you, right? I mean, you're not going to find new underwear inside you, but pretty much everything else you're seeking, wisdom, inspiration, courage, strength, come into Tadasana at the back of your mat. Close your eyes, root into the soles, and let your knees be a little bit supple so you're not locking at the joints of your knees. And then engage the muscles of your legs, your low abdomen. Let your sternum be a little more buoyant. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Palms are facing forward. Good. Blink your eyes open as you lift your arms up to frame your head. Breathe in. And on your exhale, fold forward. Reach your arms forward and down towards your mat. Relax the back crown of your head towards the floor. Good. And then slowly, let's walk our hands towards the front of the mat, coming into plank pose. So walk all the way out. Find your plank pose. Oh, yeah. Let's get this party started right away. Hips, shoulders, and knees in one line. If your wrists are feeling kind of sensitive, you can also do this from your forearms, okay? And we are going to move to a forearm variation. So you'll get a double whammy. So breathe in here. Now bend your knees and exhale and move off your forearms if you're on them and walk your hands back towards your feet. Knees are bent. Inhale, lift up into Utkatasana, fierce pose. Exhale, fold back towards the thighs and walk out. Try to keep your knees bent as you walk your hands back into plank pose, breathing in. Stay here for a full breath in and out. Firm the low abdomen in your thighs. Good. Inhale here. On your exhale, knees buckle just a little bit and walk the hands back towards the feet. You're getting the idea here. Inhale, lift up and sit back. Utkatasana, fierce pose. And exhale, fold forward, walk the hands back out onto your mat into plank pose. Inhale here in plank pose. Now we'll take a down dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, press into downward facing dog. Let's try and relax the back of our neck. Oh, and I just let a big yawn go. And you're in downward facing dog. All right, now step your feet as wide as your mat. Okay, so out to the left and right. And press the mat away with your hands. Lift your sit bones up a little higher. Good. Breathe in here. And exhale, bring your feet back together, either hip distance. Some people like to have their big toe mounds touching in down dog. Whatever works for you here. Breathe in and breathe out. And the next time you inhale, let's come back to plank pose. Yippee-ki-yay. Drop your knees down to your mat. Humor. You can find humor inside as well. And bring your forearms down. But humor is inspiration, right? Forearms, elbows, shoulders, right? So even take a look at this angle from elbows to shoulders. You don't want the shoulders behind the elbows. You want them stacked over, right? Interlace your hands here. Let's lift those knees off the mat. So step the feet back so you're in forearm plank pose. Good. And then a way to check out your own alignment is to look back, right? If your hips are elevated, you have to really tuck your chin towards your chest to see them. But if they're about level, right, and your thighs are strong, you should just get a peek of basically the pubic bone and then look back forward. Good. If you'd like a little extra work, you can push forward off the toes and lift to the tippy toes. Your shoulders come in front of your elbows. And now you start to feel it in the pectoral and bicep muscles. Good. And when you're up on your tippy toes, you're really using your thighs, moves into the core, and you might start to shake with excitement. And then on your exhale, lift the hips up and back. Keep the forearms on the mat. You're in a forearm down dog. You can walk your feet in just a little bit and breathe. Try to relax the back of your neck. Good. Feel breath in and out. Nicely done. Now drop your knees down to the mat. Almost there. Walk your hands back onto your mat. Whew. Good. And let's come back to downward facing dog. Breathe in here and out. Good. Inhale, look forward between and maybe beyond your hands. Lift your heels at the bottom of your exhale. Walk, step, or hop your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, lift yourself halfway up. Stay here as you exhale. Squeeze your navel towards your spine. Next breath. Reach your arms forward and all the way up. Press down through your feet. And exhale, lower your arms by your sides. Everything that you're looking for is inside of you. Inhale, reach your arms around and up. And you think, oh, no, that can't be possibly true. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. But it is. The problem is, inhale, lift halfway up. When someone tells you that, exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, inevitably you say, but I don't like blah, blah, blah about me. I don't like this. I don't like that. Let that back knee drop down. Hook your thumbs in front. Inhale, lift your arms up to frame your head. And exhale, drop your hips forward and down, releasing that front hip flexor in the right thigh. Full breath in and out. Well, guess what? The reason you probably don't like it is because there's this whole self-criticism going on and this comparison thing going on because you look outside of you rather than inside for what it is you're looking for. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm not talking about knowledge and learning and understanding and goal setting and the things that we do for work. You're in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. At the bottom of your exhale, walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway up. Stay halfway. You can have your hands on your shins. As you exhale, squeeze your navel to your spine. And then breathing in, let's lift the arms up to frame the head. And breathing out, try to keep your arms by your ears and fold back over your legs. Fingertips and thumb tips to the floor. Inhale, step the left foot back to the behind you. And as you exhale, drop your left knee down to your mat. Hook your thumbs again. Inhale, lift your arms up to frame your head. As you exhale, release your hips forward and down. I'm not talking about not having a guide or a teacher. Breathe in, lift the chin slightly. Stay here as you exhale. Breathing in and exhale, take your hands back to the floor. Press back to downward facing dog. Good. Full breath in, full breath out. I'm not talking about having someone help you to achieve your goals. I'm really talking about how we tend to seek the things that we can find inside of us, right? We seek inspiration, We seek truth. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. The bottom of your exhale, walk, step, or hop your feet up. Inhale, lift halfway up. Take your hands to your shins. I think it creates a little more ability to have length through your spine. And stay there as you exhale. Breathing in, reach your arms forward alongside the ears and lift up. And on your exhale, lower your arms by your sides. Good. Those things are inside of us. We get clouded and bogged down. Inhale, lift your arms up to frame your head. And on your exhale, lower your arms by your sides, palms facing down. Turn your palms out. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, turn the palms down, lower the arms. Good. One more time like that. Very simple move. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, palms down. This gives you that reminder to connect your breath to your movement. Take your hands to your hips. Step your right foot pretty far back behind you so that the front knee bends, right? And we're going to keep that front knee stacked over your ankle. Hands are on your hips so you feel your hips facing forward, okay? Now, let your arms reach up by your ears and lengthen through your spine, right? And line up the torso with that back leg, and you're bending that front knee. Breathe in here. And as you exhale, straighten the front knee, bend the elbows, turning your palms forward. Right? So you're creating a goalpost, opening across your chest, and using the muscles between your shoulder blades, the rhomboids. Good. To squeeze the shoulder blades together and almost feel like you're pressing them up forward into the rib cage. That's it. And then on your inhale, we'll take it forward, reaching the arms forward, rooting into that back foot, bending the front knee. You can stay for the exhale because you probably already, I hope you breathed out. Good. Inhale here. And on your exhale, straighten that front knee. Bend the elbows, lift the chest, and your gaze. Inhale, leaning forward. Exhale. Straighten leg, bend your elbows, lift your chest. Good. Last one here. Breathe in. Hold as you exhale. Inhale here. On your exhale, lower your hands down to the floor. Let's lift the back heel. Drop your right knee down to your mat. Now, I'd like you to straighten the front knee. So you can walk your hands back behind your front foot and then inchworm that front foot forward, lifting the sole of that foot. Breathe in here, lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, maybe bend the elbows so the pelvis can tilt a little further forward. The spine maybe drops a little bit lower. Watch the front foot that you're not sickling it in or out, everting or inverting the inner outer edges of the foot. And breathe. You know, I work with a lot of wonderful people that are inspiring, that help me to achieve goals, teach me things that I don't know. And I think that is one of the most wonderful gifts that we have as people, the sharing of our talents and knowledge. On your next inhale, come forward, rebend that front knee, lift the back knee. So you're in low lunge. Keep your right hand on the floor, and on your inhale, lift your left arm into the air for a twist. Stay here as you exhale. Full breath in and out. Good. Inhale here. And exhale, lower your left hand down to the floor. We're going to do a supported plank pose because we've done a lot on the wrists today. So I don't want you to go too crazy. Take the right knee down to the mat. Rotate the inside of your left foot to the floor. Move your right hand slightly forward, wrist slightly forward of the shoulder before you lift that left arm up into the air for a supported side plank. If you'd like a little more challenge, you can lift the left foot off the mat and reach your left arm alongside your ear. And then wherever you are, feel that left hip stacked on the right. Maybe if it's not too much for your neck, you can turn your gaze up towards that left thumb. Good. Now we'll slowly lower back to plank pose. and downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels and look forward. Bend your knees as you exhale. Walk, step, or hop your feet to the front of your mat. Take your hands to your shins. Inhale, lift halfway up. Stay as you exhale. Squeeze navel to spine. Inhale, lift your arms up, framing your head. And as you exhale, lower your hands to your hips. Take your giant step back now with the left foot. Good. And you have to bend that front knee, stacked over your ankle. Good. And you lift your arms up by your ears. And now we lean forward, lining up the torso and the arms, the spine really, with the angle of that back leg. Keep that right knee coming forward on top of the ankle. Good. Inhale here. And as you exhale, straighten the front knee, palms face forward, bend the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift your sternum and chin. Next, inhale, lean forward again, rebend that front knee, reach the arms by your ears. And exhale, rebend the elbows, straighten the front knee. Good. 3 more like that. Inhale, slowly reach forward. And exhale, slow it down. Notice if I said 3 more, you started just racing through them. Good. 2 more. Inhale. And if my calls are slower than your breaths in and out, it's okay to breathe more than once or twice if you need to, right? I'd rather have you fully oxygenated and feeling that breath as you like. 1 more. And out. Good. Now we'll hold here, breathing in. And exhale, lower your hands to the floor. Lift your back heel. Now we'll lower that left knee down to the mat, okay? Walk your hands back a little bit behind your foot, and you'll inchworm that front foot forward and lift the sole of your foot. Breathe in here, lengthen through the top of your head, and as you exhale, drop that pelvis forward. The spine will follow. Maybe bend the elbows and your spine goes a little lower. Now, remember, you're pressing through the whole sole of the foot, so you're not inverting or everting, right? The ankle's staying pretty straight there. Good. Now, the next time you breathe in, you'll come forward, rebend that front knee. It's a little bit of an adjustment. And come into low lunge. Keep your left hand on the floor now. Breathe in, lift your right arm into the air. Good. Stay here. Keep that right knee drawing forward over your ankle. Strong through the left thigh. Lift that right arm into the air. Maybe turn your hand up towards that thumb. Your head up towards that thumb. Breathe in. And out. Good. Now slowly lower your right hand down to the floor. Come into plank pose. We'll go into Vasi Stasana, the side plank supported on the left side. Drop your left knee down to the mat. Move that left hand slightly forward and a little bit in, lining it up with the knee. Rotate the inside of your right foot to the floor. Lift your right arm into the air. Breathe in here and breathe out. Again, if you like that added challenge, your right arm goes forward alongside your ear. Right foot lifts off the mat. Wherever you are, your core strength is stabilizing you. Good. And if that foot is down, the arm is lifted, you might turn your gaze up towards the hands. We're almost there. Let's lower your right hand down to the floor. Come back into plank pose and downward facing dog. Those times when you're not sure about what to do, though. Not sure. I mean, everything from like what you want to eat, what you should do next, what you ought to do next, what kind of a decision to make about something, big or small. Those answers we often seek from outside of us. And truthfully, those answers come from inside. And the best answers come from inside. Good. Let's walk our feet up to the front of the mat now. Drop into bent knees and grabbing hold of your elbows for a ragdoll briefly. And then slowly roll yourself up to stand. Okay, we're going to do what I like to call a standing Ustrasna, a standing camel pose. Okay, so this pose is often done on the knees, right? So we're going to step your feet so they're about 2 of your fist distances. Your fists could fit inside of the feet here. Okay, so 2 fist distances apart. And take your hands, can do close asana adjustment. Interlace your fingers behind you, right? If when you do this, right, it's you get the wrists like this and so forth, go for hooking the thumbs, right? If that's still not really great, go grab a kitchen towel and you can hold it between your hands. Kitchen towel or a yoga strap if you've got one handy. Speaking of which, I have a really great blog post coming out with all the things you need to create your home studio. Take your hands behind you and hook thumbs or interlace fingers or grab that strap. And now feet are that 2 fist distance apart. I want you to reach the knuckles or the fingertips down towards the floor. Good. Now drop your tailbone. So lift the front hip points. Okay. So as soon as we start to back bend through the spine, the tailbone flips up and the pelvis tilts forward. So I want you to engage those muscles of what I call our triangle, right? Pubic bone and hip points. Engage those muscles right here and draw the front hip points up, tailbone down. As you begin to create that back bend, root through your feet, lift the front of your chest. And you can even lift the chin a little bit. And then remember that squeezing of the shoulder blades together that we did in Warrior One, that variation of Warrior One. Breathe in here. Good, and breathe out. Now you'll notice you did come into a pretty big back bend when you come out of that. So release your hands and pause in Tadasana, feeling that neutral space in the spine and how you just created the back bend and the energy of a back bend. We'll do one more here. You can either take the variation that you just did or take the fingertips, point them up towards your rib cage, palms down, elbows in. Okay, that's one option. The other option is to bring the hands to the small of the back and bring the elbows together. I find you get a little more opening with the fingertips pointing up and the palms towards the top of the hips. Top of the back of the pelvis, and drop the tailbone down, lift those front hip points, squeeze the elbows towards each other. Now the same thing, lifting, root into the feet, lift your sternum, lift your chin, breathe. In and out. Keep engaging the low abdominal muscles, rooting through the feet. Try to lift that rib cage up. And now slowly release your hands and lower down. It also creates a nice stretch through the palms of your hands and your fingers. And you're in Tadasana mountain pose. Great. We're going to walk to the back of your mat again, so you can go backwards on your mat. Walk your hands down to your mat. Walk them out on your mat into plank. Drop your knees down. Send your seat back towards your heels for a brief child's pose, just briefly. About 5 seconds here. And then come forward and roll onto your back, please. Good. Once you come onto your back, give your knees, your thighs a little hug in. And then spread out onto your mat. Very brief Shavasana. We do brief Shavasanas in the morning moves classes. It's a short class. Just little ways to get the body moving. Get the mind set. Not set as in stubbornly set, But the mindset, one word, to remind ourselves that all we seek, the truth and wisdom, that intuition, knowing, is right inside of you. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. Take your hands to your shins. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs. Rock yourself up to sit. And once you come up to sit, let's seal the practice this morning. Taking your fist just above the pubic bone, hand envelops that fist. Lift up through the top of your head. And as you exhale, you press back and tilt forward. Nicely done. Sitting back up. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. You are awesome. I'll see you next time.